Welcome back, I'm Marina Kim with the latest news from Kazakhstan. These are the headlines. The village of Kazatkom in the Almaty region is quarantined due to the new anthrax outbreak. Hunger strikers in Astana picket the office of the Kazakh Foreign Affairs Ministry to draw the authorities' attention to their problems. Opposing the law on the leader of the nation, the Alga party activists sue 3 top state officials for abusing power in adopting the controversial law. Breaking news first. About 30 convicts of the ES 164/4 maximum security prison in northern Kazakhstan attempted mass suicide. The news was reported by the convicts' family members who refrained from identifying themselves, fearing the administrative pressure. No details are known yet, although we were able to get in touch with a woman who introduced herself as a mother of one of the convicts. This is what she had to say to us.
When parents called the medical center, its employees say they had no incidents and everything is fine. But we heard the situation is very serious indeed, and the guys were carried out on the stretchers requiring urgent assistance. They endure brutal treatment of the administration, starvation and no medical attention whatsoever. The detention conditions are severe. Just prior to the incident, the prosecutor's office conducted an inspection there, and detainees made many complaints, none of which were taken into consideration.
On the 5th day of their hunger strike, real estate interest holders in Astana picketed the Foreign Affairs Ministry office. As the authorities continue to ignore the problem, protesters intend to rally in front of the ministry until the OSCE summit scheduled for later this year.
During all this time, the hunger strikers have been morally supported by fellow activists, ordinary citizens and public organizations' representatives. They organized a sitting rally which initially started on July 16 with 79 persons, and by now the number of protesters reached 130. The strikers say they will be replaced by new groups every couple weeks. The total number of hunger strikers reached 13 persons as of Wednesday. They still pose the same demands on the cancellation of the government's April resolution, which imposes limits on premise ownership. I wonder why our country has the law on the leader of the nation, but the rights of regular citizens of the country are being pinched.
A new anthrax outbreak is reported in the Almaty region of Kazakhstan. On Wednesday, the Kazatkom village was closed for quarantine, with 4 of its residents hospitalized. The sanitary services are currently busy with countermeasures. Meanwhile, the authorities are still looking for the infected meat that was sold by the infected butchers.
The Kazatkom village is fully cordoned due to the new anthrax outbreak registered in the Almaty region. The entrances to the settlement are controlled by the road police unit of the local internal affairs department. Only local residents can enter and leave the territory. The 2-day quarantine is introduced. 4 residents of Kazatkom were hospitalized and diagnosed with anthrax and are now in satisfactory condition. About a week ago, 8 cows died and secretly buried in the settlement. A few days later, 4 butchers slaughtered more cattle that likely were ill and sold the meat to traders from the nearby villages. Anti-anthrax measures have been held at 2 bazaars with disinfection of premises and medical checkups of all employees who had contact with the infected patients. There are no new cases registered as of now. The problem was caused by the shortcomings in veterinary service work. The epidemiology experts blame the veterinary services for the spread of the infection, as they did not inspect the dead cattle or report about them worrying. It was my personal decision to introduce quarantine, as it's a prerogative of the local authorities, but the risks are yet to be confirmed officially. It's unknown what is going on behind the police cordons, as the local authorities refuse to comment the situation. In the meantime, residents of the neighboring villages continue buying meat at the local bazaar, as there is no ban on the sale of meat there. Since the beginning of the summer, this is already the 2nd anthrax outbreak in Kazakhstan. Just a month ago, the infection killed 2 residents of the Pavlodar region.
The civil sector continues to struggle against the law, which was accepted without the president's approval. Activists of the unregistered party Alga sue Prime Minister Karim Masimov and speakers of the 2 chambers of the Kazakh parliament for abusing power by adopting the law granting Nazarbayev a special status and complete inviolability. The Alga party members intend to launch protests across the country, although at the moment they are still trying to receive permissions to rally from local authorities.
The protest campaign against the law on the leader of the nation is gaining momentum. On Wednesday, members of the political party Alga submitted their final 10th request to picket the offices of the ruling party.
They didn't even care of others' opinion, just did what they had to do, but we disagree with the election of a leader.
On Wednesday, Alga's branches across Kazakhstan completed their 10-day campaign of submitting official requests to picket Nur Otan's offices. The action was needed to make the members of the ruling party ask the president to relinquish their new status. So far, all the requests were turned down with equally logical reasons. For instance, in Semey, the actions of our party are seen as the attempt to violate the honor and dignity of the president, and authorities threaten us with criminal liability. Thus, expressing the civil position on the leader of the nation, law is also considered its violation. The law is opposed not only by the political forces but also public activists. Journalist Zhanna Baytelova was first to file a lawsuit against the trio of high-ranking officials, Prime Minister Masimov and speakers of the both chambers of the Kazakh parliament. The president has refused to sign the law, so we call upon the Prime Minister and speakers of the parliament to withdraw it. Despite numerous obstacles and failures in their endeavors, the members of Alga do not intend to give up and continue their campaign opposing the controversial law, although by now it's clear that the real lead of the nations is officials' bureaucracy.
Members of the Gastad Public Movement and the Narazılık Oil Workers Trade Union have appealed to several international organizations, including the UN, OSCE, European Union, CIS and International Human Rights Bureau, asking to help politician Aydos Sadıkov. The oppositionist supporters are confident he is a victim of political repressions.
At the moment, Aydos Sadıkov is held in the detention center KA168/1 of the Aktaber Regional Penitentiary System. On 16th of July, he is sentenced to 2 years of imprisonment on charges of disorderly conduct involving a resistance to the police. In his first days of conviction, Aydosov is paid frequent visits by his spouse and attorney. According to letter, the politician is detained in solitary confinement. Meanwhile, the attorney is preparing an appeal as public activists launched a campaign to collect signatures in support of the oppositionist. So far, the appeal is signed by more than 100 people.
The authorities should know that by imprisoning Aydos Sadıkov, they have not cut short the opposition movement in western Kazakhstan. We will keep struggling, employing all possible legal means, and we won't leave it like this.
Kazakh officials are reporting on the results of the Business Roadmap State program. The authorities say they received more than 400 applications from businesses during the last 4 months, although only one project was approved in the end. According to business community representatives, the main reason for such inactive participation of entrepreneurs is the high interest rates.
Representatives of the state fund Damu are very enthusiastic about the much talk about business roadmap, the first project of which was approved here recently with the opening of the 15.5 million credit line for the Taldykorgan lead-acid batteries plant. Banks already hold around 400 applications from businessmen for a total amount of $180 million. Next week, the Modernization of Economy State Panel will meet to discuss and review the submitted applications. The government had promised that the roadmap will start function back in March of this year, although only one project was approved since. The Independent Businessmen Association receives numerous requests to reduce the interest rates to 9% from the current 16% held by banks. The association representatives claim that this is no different than the market rates, although the government promotes it as something unique. Basically, we are not moving forward for 5 months, and unfortunately the roadmap is not working yet. No businessmen became clients of the program so far because we are dealing with serious contradictions between the government and banks, as banks are not happy about the 12% interest rate and no additional payments. On the press briefing organized by the ruling party, the members of the Nur Otan report about their recent campaign. For 2 weeks, the party disseminated information about the roadmap amongst businessmen. Results of the action are unknown, except for the claim that the government was convinced to compensate the losses of the banks. I want to stress again that indeed there were cases before when banks could not reduce interest rates, but now they have a possibility to do so upon the submission of necessary documents, as stated in the assistance program. The Independent Businessmen Association members remember the case when during the entire year the government attempted to implement the small and medium business support program. As a result, the finance police had established many violations by second-tier banks which issued credits. This time, however, the government is backing itself up by calling the business roadmap a pilot project.